What's up, guys? Rob Kuhn here. Today we're going to review an absolutely disgusting hand that I have absolutely no clue about. Why? Because it is a mystery hand, and my editor, I quote, said, "Disgusting hand, review it." So without any spoilers to me or you, let's get into the action.
Is the spiciest isn't simply because the people who are stuck are trying to get even, or maybe people are a little bit tired, as we saw Jungle barely maintaining consciousness the other day, en route to a $250,000 win, as I recall.
Rob
but
Young.
also because it's when all the chips have gathered and we're playing the deepest that we've played.
Yeah.
Time to play the mystery card game here, and it's one where whatever it is that Rob Young has chosen to 3-bet with, it isn't going to be ahead of Andy Nee's open with the 2 aces.
Like 1.5 million US, I can probably have a bowling alley in my house.
Start the hand of 957,000 for Rob Young. So once you see that deep stack, plenty incentive to 4-bet aces and not slow play it pre, because you want to build that pot. Try to get as much money as you can in pre.
其实我跟你讲过，只是你没有放我在眼里。你跟我讲过吗？讲过可能几百次。难道太阳城的时候我们没有聊天吗？太阳城。
My heart's racing.
Well, for Rob's sake, we're really hoping that this isn't queens or kings.
Regardless of what Rob's got, I'm expecting Rob to come in with the call with his range that he wants to continue with, even if he's got aces or kings.
Okay, well, this hand is getting very interesting. Just for context on this game, this is the Triton Poker Cash Game Invitational. They're playing 1,000, 2,000 with a whopping $5,000 ante. There is a straddle in play here. Andy Nee opens +2 to 11,000 with pocket aces. Rob Young 3-bets to 50,000, which is the dream for Andy Nee, who proceeds to 4-bet with pocket aces to 170,000. The mystery hand of Rob Young just decides to go for the call. We have absolutely no clue what he has. We will find out after the action is done. Let's take a flop.
Because you're just so deep, you know what I'm saying? 352 in the middle.
He could have so many hands here.
This is business time. You see Andy dug in here. He does have the aces.
That's an okay flop.
Queen 6-5.
Definitely queens.
2 hearts.
That queen's a little bit worrisome because we do know that queens are in Rob's range.
On the Queen 6-5 2-heart board, Andy Nee should probably go ahead and bet pocket aces here. Yes, it is scary if Rob Young has pocket queens, but he can still have a hand like king queen suited. He could have ace queen suited. He could have pocket kings in his range. He could also have pocket aces, which is, you know, I would say aces and kings are kind of somewhat likely in this scenario, just based on his pre-flop call. I think in most spots when the SPR is, you know, 2, Rob Young having 800,000 back, 352,000 in the middle, he should just go ahead and bet. Anyway, the action goes check, check. Let's take a flop.
Range.
Yeah, specifically queens too. It does go check, check. Now the king rolls off.
I was going to say, the check back is safe. It's good for you. But when you see the king, king's also in Rob's range, hence why Andy's kind of checking. Rob Young could have ace king as well.
Do you make anything of the look back,
Definitely.
by the way? Because it's not as though this was a flush draw producing card.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
It means something.
if you have a pocket pair, you know you have the pair. Maybe you're just double checking because of the size of the pot, and look at the size of this bet. 175,000. Half pot, but still massive. Has a big one bruise. Andy didn't check with the intention of folding, obviously. The aces. He too double checking, obviously.
Yeah, it's just a big pot. Makes sense.
On the King of Clubs turn, Andy Nee goes for the check once again. I'm not sure if I'm really loving this line from Andy Nee. I think he should have bet flop. He should probably bet turn. If you have any bluffs in your range at all, let's say ace jack or ace 10, you know, maybe even a hand like jack 10 suited, you're just always going to bet the king turn. So it feels a little unbalanced. Action checks to Rob, who bets half pot, 175,000. Andy Nee just goes for the call, which I think is very standard. Rob Young, he could, his range is very interesting here. I would think he wouldn't check back kings on the flop. He could check back queens on the flop. King, queen suited he can definitely have. He can definitely have ace, king. He could have aces as well. That'd be kind of a boring hand, so I don't think my editor would send that. So, yeah, I don't know what he has here. I'm going to guess ace, king. It makes sense, right? Anyway, let's take a river.
702,000 in the middle.
That is not scary.
That is safe.
If Rob Young bets on the river, you know how sick it is for the two aces?
Weird he keeps rechecking his cards.
It ain't jacks.
Does he have a set?
Oh my gosh. $400,000, and it feels quite milky.
I feel like he
Rob
says queens.
also doesn't have a reputation for being light in these spots.
I agree. I also actually think Rob Young checks back ace king at some frequency.
Oh, for sure. And by the way, we blocked that ace king.
Yes.
1.1 million, which is going to look like 1.5 and a tickle if Andy clicks call. Would be the biggest pot that we've played thus far across 3 days. But you can see Andy, he's already invested 350 roughly.
On the deuce of spades, river action checks to Rob Young, who bets 400,000 into 700,000. I will say Rob Young is really not known for bluffing in these situations. Andy Nee does have a very interesting hand because he does block Rob's most likely value bet, which is ace king. Does unblock the king queen suited. I mean, the fact that Rob Young keeps rechecking his cards is, it feels like a massive tell, like it's queens or kings. I would think he would bet kings on the flop. I really don't know what to do if I'm aces in this spot. It's a really, really tough fold because you're just so under-repped. Your hand is incredibly difficult to fold, or you're pretty much folding everything. I don't know if he's paying attention to Rob Young's mannerisms, though. So let's go ahead and see what Andy Nee does. I have a feeling he's probably going to end up calling.
It's so hard to lay down aces, but it kind of feels right.
I feel like I would fold here, though. Strictly based on his mannerisms.
Multiple time banks are going to get used. That's the view, by the way, whenever Andy looks across the dealer at the 1 seed. And Rob looked a little nervy. I'm not suggesting that that's correlated to not having it.
It's correlated to the size of his pot.
Yeah.
There's a really big live tell that Rob just gave off.
Gulp.
I'm thinking about doing a live tell video, so let me know if you guys want this, but the live tell that Rob gave off was when he looks at Andy Nee looking at his chips, basically he's confirming if Andy Nee is going to put it in the right amount. It is a subconscious thing that a lot of people do. I've really never talked about this live tell. I've never done a live tell video, but I know a lot about live tells. If you guys want to see me do a live tell video, let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, click the subscribe button. I'm pretty sure Rob Young is just nutted here.
He's
giving away too many
some
tells.
great folds. We don't
If he has
know
ace
Rob
king,
Young's cards
I
are,
look
though.
like an idiot, but
Hard to say.
Chat, thinking it's the kings or the queens, very much believers.
I'm in that camp as well. The sizing to me also looked like he wants to get paid off by aces or ace king. This has got to be one of the toughest pots Andy's ever played. We are on a shot clock, too.
This is a very chatty group of folks, but even they know when it's time to zip it up
I feel like he's still gonna
and
call.
allow the
I don't
poker
know. This
to
is a
play out.
tough spot unless Andy's not looking at him at all. That's the problem. Maybe he does fold.
This was a raise to 10,000, a 3-bet to 50, a 4-bet to 170. Call from Rob.
Wow.
It
Did
went
he fold?
check, check.
Yeah.
Check,
Oh,
175, and then the 400 on the
kings.
river. And sure enough, the
He
turn,
checked it back on
the
the flop.
kings,
Wow. Okay.
Rob, 2 outed.
Were you part of the game? No.
Wow.
Andy
Great fold from Andy.
spares himself 400 dimes.
Andy Nee with the amazing fold with pocket aces. I really like this. I don't think he was looking at Rob Young as he made this, so I think this is even tougher. I do think Rob Young gave off a lot of tells there. What a nice fold. What a kind of a sick check back by Rob Young there with pocket kings on the flop. I was expecting queens or maybe even king, queen suited a little bit more than kings. But anyway, hopefully you guys like this video. Much love.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite.